Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to attach your cover, your front and your back cover to your sketchbook. So I already did the front cover, as you can see, so it looks nice. I had a couple problems with air bubbles, so I'm going to show you some ways where you can try to minimize those as you're working. So you're just going to use regular glue, Elmer's glue. I poured some into a little cup, and you can thin it a little bit by adding some water. Don't make it too thin though, or that's going to make the paper really wet and it might actually cause some more air bubbles. So I'm going to put some more glue in this cup. Wait a second as it comes out. There we go. Alright, so got my glue, and I'm just using like kind of a junky glue paintbrush. Alright, if you put some water in there, you might make sure to mix it up so it's consistent. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a thin layer. I'm not gonna like glop a bunch of glue on there. Okay, that's why I'm using the brush. Help me get a thin layer of glue, nice and even on the surface. If you don't have a paintbrush, you might try getting some like scrap paper, and you could fold it up into like a little square rectangle and kind of use it as like a knife a little bit. Okay, so I'm kind of folding it up in a nice good square so it's thick. And then I can maybe pour a little bit of glue, or maybe just dip this in there, okay, and get some glue, and I can spread it out with my paper like that, okay? So if you don't have a paintbrush, don't worry, you can do this method. It works just fine. You just want to get a thin layer of glue. Okay, I'm going to switch back to my paintbrush. Alright, so on the whole surface, all the edges. And take your time. It's okay if it starts to dry a little bit. It's still going to be wet. If you need to go over in some areas, go ahead and do that. The water kind of helps it from drying out too quickly as well, okay? So just a few drops of water. Don't go crazy. Alright, so I'm making sure to get all the edges because that's the parts that always want to come unglued first. And make sure you're putting your glue on the notebook, okay, not the paper, because this is going to make it easier to center the paper, and the paper is actually a little bit bigger than your sketchbook, so we're going to, at least if you use the 9x12 size like we did in class. I know some of you just use computer paper, which is fine, but we use 9x12, which is a little bit bigger than our notebook spiral, because we're going to overlap it so it'll have a nice clean edge. Alright, so I'm just going over a couple spots pretty quickly before it gets too dry. Alright, so once you get your glue down, set that aside. Grab your cover. Alright, so this is my back cover, so I'm going to make sure it's centered. Okay, and then just start with light pressure. Start pushing from one edge. I like to start kind of on the right, or I'm starting on the left, sorry, and then pushing it out. A way you can help to not get air bubbles, see I'm starting to get an air bubble here, you can grab like a card or your ID and you can smooth that out. That gives it a really nice straight edge to really smooth it out. Alright. So make sure, try to get all those air bubbles out, and it can be difficult. I'm having some trouble with air bubbles on mine. So even the professional artist has trouble with air bubbles. Don't stress out. Okay, but try to get them all out, okay? So use this tool. All right, that's looking good. All right, so that one trouble spot. Sometimes you have a trouble spot. All right, I can see this isn't sticking too well, so I may go back and add a little bit of glue just on that little corner. Push it down. All right, so now I'm actually going to turn this over. I'm going to turn it out like this. So the next step, I'm going to paint glue on these paper edges and I'm going to fold them over. Before I do that, take some scissors, trim the corners. Okay, this is going to help when you're folding over. So just trim the little corner off. All right, so grab my paintbrush, add some glue here. Remember, not too much, okay? Once I put glue on my edges, I'm going to start folding them over. So let me do this big edge first. Hold it down. And you're going to fold this over and get it to glue to that back side. All right, so it's folded over. It's nice. I'm going to do on the bottom. All right, make sure you push down to make sure it glues. If you have to go back and add some glue, that's okay. Just make sure it doesn't come back up. All right, I'm going to do it on the top. Okay, so it should look nice. Clean edges, okay. We got a little bit of design on this side. You could always continue it later for fun if you want. All right, I see I got a little corner I need to work on. There we go. Okay. Now, let's check it out. Awesome. So here's my back. My E got cut off a little bit, but that's okay. But you can just be aware of that when you're centering your piece. Try to get some more of those air bubbles out. Awesome, it looks great. Okay, so that's my back. Here's my front. Okay, Miss Pemberton. I had mine opening like that. Awesome. I'll switch it like this. So that is how you do your front and your back cover. And now you have this really cool sketchbook. And I realized I totally put mine upside down. And you know what? It's okay. We all make mistakes. Make sure you don't put yours upside down like me. Put it the right way. But maybe I'll just switch mine around. No worries. All right, guys. Let me know if you have questions. Bye.